Hello, everybody. My name is Caleb, and you're watching Live for Love TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Hi, Akuya here. I'm watching Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV, very educative program. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bless up, Aya.
Welcome back, Lit for Love TV. Today's the ninth day, the 12th month for 21st year inside the 21st century. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Today I'm going to talk about, well, actually, no, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off by saying congratulations to my mother and father for 60 years of marriage. I'm not sure what that's called. I'm sure there's a name for it. You've heard Pearl, Golden, all these names that part as you pass certain milestones, but I don't know what 60 years is. So just congratulations for 60 years of marriage and still married. Right. So I'm going to talk about marriage since it's the topic of the month for my family, for my parents. So I'm going to talk about it. And it's funny, there's lots of people talking about sisters, brothers, why is there so few marriages in our community, especially the black community? And why is there so many one-parent households? And I was thinking from a man's perspective now, because obviously I'm a man, from a man's perspective, what is the single most thing that all women who are not married that I know, that all women who, whether they want to be married, that are single, or even women who are married but very unhappily married, have in common? Is there anything that they have in common? Now I hear a lot about women being too masculine and modern women and wanting to wear the trousers, and all of this it has a lot of truth to it. It's a lot of validity to it. You see it constantly in modern women that they literally want to play. You hear statements like, "Well, I've got to play the man and the father because the father's not there." Well, that's ridiculous. You can't play the mother and father. It's impossible. If you try to play the mother and father, you play neither role properly. Simple as that. You can't play the mother and father. So get that out of your head. That's completely ridiculous. Just something that a lot of females like to say when they believe that they're working double time, which I know they are, bringing up children, especially by themselves. But you're not playing the mother and father because you can't. It's impossible. It's a physical impossibility, a spiritual impossibility, and an emotional impossibility. So get that out of your head. But anyway, as I'm saying this and thinking about it, as I'm saying that there's something that these females all seem to have in common. And it's something that my mother doesn't have in common with these females, and no happily married woman has in common with these females, especially modern sisters. And this is it. And I don't have a drum, so the drum roll, you have to imagine it before I say it. But it's as simple as this. It's not the things that I was just saying about the masculinity and all those things. It's something very, far more simple than that. Very simple. And what it is that modern women, or these sisters that are not married, or are married and unhappily married, do not want to answer to anyone. They don't believe they have to answer to anyone. And I can guarantee you that if you don't answer to anyone, you're going to be single. And if you're not single and you're in a partnership, that partnership is almost a single partnership. It's as good as. Because there is no man, no real man, that is going to go out with a woman who doesn't answer to anyone. And I know women are going to turn around and say, well, if he doesn't answer to me, then I wouldn't answer to him. Again, something that's really makes no sense if you look into nature, if you look into historical relationships. Men don't answer to women. They do not answer to women. Boys answer to their mother, but when they get manhood, they no longer answer to a woman. That's why they need to find their own space, go about their business, and take on another woman. Because once they become a man, there is no answering to a woman. Now you reason everything out, you talk, she can know where you are, you can say, I'm going uptown, downtown, round town, but you don't actually answer to the woman. But women who want to be in committed relationship with men, they do have to answer to their man. They do have to answer to their husband. And if they feel they don't have to answer to nobody, well, they don't have to answer to anybody. They can sing that independent song. I forgot who made that song famous for the females, that independent lady. you know, when you go to a club or party, especially you're in my generation, and it's like 80% women, single. There's a few women there who are there with their husbands, boyfriends, partners, whatsoever. And there's a lot of men there who probably left their woman at home knowing that the place is going to be single women and decide they're going to go out and play the field. That's the way the game's played now, because it's just overloaded women, single women. And they're single, as I say, because they have this one thing in common. They don't want to answer to anybody. And the problem is, even when they get to an age when they realize they may have to answer to somebody, they find it so difficult to do. It's almost like it's like a baby learning to walk. And some of them just don't have the patience, for whatever reason, to be able to learn these skills once again that they need to learn. Because it has to be like that. That's just the way nature's planned it. It's not the way I planned it. It's not the way any particular religious people planned it. That's the way nature planned it. Yeah. And as I said, the women that I know that are married, they're happy to answer to their man or to their husband, or if they're in their deep committed relationship, they're happy to answer to their man. That's the only person they want to answer to. Some of them don't care about answering to their bosses or answering to, their dads or their brothers or sisters. They answer to their man, and they're happy to do it because they're in a happy, committed relationship. That is the underpinning of it. So all the other things about being aggressive and trying to do these things all exist, especially in modern women. But this is the thing that went throughout all generations, throughout all races. I mean, I learned this on the continent of Africa. And sometimes when I saw some things in Africa, women there, they when they're committed when they're in a relationship, they answer to their husbands, to their man, long before they're married. And to Western women, I know a lot of Western women, not all, it will look like, oh, they're under manners or they're under control. No. They understand nature better than a lot of the Western women who end up being single, and these women don't end up being single. I know women who are in committed relationships who, let's say, given it for an example, in a US situation, one of them is living in Massachusetts, the other one is living in Texas, or let's say New York. So the girlfriend or the wife is living in New York, the husband is living in a completely different state, and she will phone him up and ask him if it's okay for her to go out to the club or to the party with her friends. Now, that sounds insane to many Western people. Like, why would I do that? My husband, I don't have to ask him before I go out. Well, that's the whole point. That's why you haven't got a husband. And that's why you're always out there in the club looking for one. And when you get out there, you're going to find that it's going to be a short-lived thing because you don't want to answer to anyone. And men have this inborn concept that he really does need to know where his wife is. He does need to know. It's not about whether she's cheating or not cheating or whatever. This is the way we are. Even men, as you ask any man that's got children, especially when the children reach a certain age, not left home age, you may come in and ask where your son is, but you're not that concerned all the time. But if you don't know where your daughter is, the concern is very, very high. As a man, you are seriously concerned and you want to know where your daughter is. And you go move heaven and hell to find out where your daughter is or daughters are. That's how it is. That's just the way it is. So when daughters tell their dads that they're going to play A and they end up in play B, the father may not know. But if he does find out, he will be pretty pissed, because this is not how nature runs things. This is not how men understand that protected nature that they have. It doesn't work that way. Nature doesn't work that way. So anyway, just talking about that and talking about the one thing I found in common right across the board, right across the races, right across the generations, that if you're a female and you're watching this and you have no interest in answering to anyone, then you can stay as you are and you'll be happy. If you can be happy in that way, but don't have that desire to be with someone or to be married to someone or to be in a committed relation with someone, and then at the same time you don't believe you have to answer to that person. Ain't gonna happen. Not in a month of Sundays. Anyway, take care. See you soon.